A red line moves across the sky, not downward, not from a cloud overhead, sideways. The first streak flashes past like a sheet of molten metal being pulled across the horizon. A fraction of a second later, the outer layer of a visor begins to blister. Sensors lose clarity. The image softens. Then the surface starts turning rough. Then pitted. Nothing has touched the visor. The rain has not reached you yet. The rain is moving the wrong way. Iron exists as vapor here, but beneath that glowing curtain, the important detail is not the metal. It is what the wind is doing to it. The sky keeps dragging liquid iron sideways through the darkness. One glowing wall stretches farther than any shelter in sight. Direction stops helping. Looking away changes nothing. The weather reaches you anyway. The red band is no longer a wall crossing the sky. It is wrapping around the planet. For a moment, the horizon appears tilted. Clouds slide one way. Loose debris drifts another. Nothing agrees on where down is anymore. A burst from the thrusters should create distance. Instead, the glowing band grows wider across the view. The wind is carrying the metal. Heat alarms begin stacking faster than corrections can be made. The frame vibrates continuously. Instrument markers wander across their displays as alignment slowly slips away. Eyes follow one direction while motion comes from somewhere else. Far above, the red stream curves along the planet's edge, like a burning river suspended in the atmosphere. Here, the transport is visible. Movement becomes capture. The harder you push away, the more the atmosphere seems to hand you back to the same flowing band. Ahead, the metal stream continues around the curve of the planet, still moving, still spreading, carrying everything with it. The red stream keeps circling ahead, but near the boundary, something changes. The color fades. For a few seconds, the flow looks almost harmless. Silver vapor gathers along the edge between day and night. The turbulence weakens. The glowing haze thickens. Nothing appears to be falling yet. It is the first moment that feels understandable. The dark side meets the rain. Along that dim boundary, vapor arriving from the furnace-bright hemisphere begins changing form. Thin metallic mist becomes droplets. Droplets become streaks. A curtain starts forming beneath the cloud layer. Cooling does not remove the threat. It gives the threat weight. A line of silver turns red and begins to fall. Here the process is visible without needing an explanation. The safer-looking sky is where the attack begins. For a moment, survival seems simple. Stay away from the boundary. Avoid the falling metal. Let the dark side absorb the danger. The rain continues building beneath the rim. More vapor arrives. More liquid forms. The pattern looks orderly enough to trust. The rain has not reached you yet. A clear viewing panel still faces open air. The boundary remains visible ahead. Red streaks continue forming in the distance. Then the window begins turning gray. Not from impact. Not from droplets. A metallic haze spreads across the surface as if heat is baking a thin layer directly onto the material. Visibility fades before the storm arrives. The air fails before the rain arrives. Cooling systems start working harder without any obvious reason. Internal temperatures creep upward. Flexible seals soften around their edges. Optical surfaces lose sharpness. The environment still looks mostly empty, yet protection is already disappearing. For a moment, it feels like faulty equipment. Then another clear surface clouds over. The visible rain is only part of the problem. Something arrives ahead of it. The boundary is no longer a line. It becomes a layer stretching through the atmosphere, a region of heated metallic vapor moving beyond the visible curtain. The predictable edge that seemed useful a moment ago starts dissolving. There is no clean approach anymore. The red rain continues falling farther ahead while transparent air quietly damages everything in front of it. Cooling systems strain. Optics degrade. The storm remains visible in the distance, but the failure has already begun. The red rain is still falling beyond the haze. The vapor is still moving ahead of it. Neither slows down. From a distance, the process looks almost orderly. Vapor arrives. Rain forms. Winds carry it onward. The cycle repeats whether anything survives inside it or not. Here, metal is weather. The body loses protection to heat. Cooling systems fail inside metallic air. Instruments drift inside turbulent winds. Beyond that, liquid iron falls through the darkness. Every layer of the environment does damage in a different way. The rule is understood now. That turns out to be useless. The pattern exists. The mechanism exists. Nothing about understanding it creates a safe place to stand. Altitude fails. Timing fails. Shelter fails. The red belt continues sliding through the night side of the planet, while the atmosphere feeds it from somewhere beyond the horizon. No part of the cycle pauses. No part becomes neutral. Heat turns metal into vapor. Winds move it. Cooling turns it into rain. The system keeps operating after navigation fails, after protection fails, after prediction fails. The rain band continues through the darkness. The weather never stopped. You only finally understood what it was.